Hello everybody, my name is Adam Michael Anthony Simpson and you're watching my YouTube channel, Adam M.A. Simpson. This is part 2 of what led me to graduate school, pursuing research and higher education. Please like and subscribe and continue watching. Research and professor for me. But I just remember applying to graduate school and after going through this dilemma of what I'm going to do, I don't want to go into pure chemistry and I want to honor my family's company, but I want to do something that I'm also interested in, and so I applied to environmental engineering. But I had this dilemma because I felt like I was hurting professors' feelings that I had to say no to at other institutions. My academic advisor, Professor Kathryn Whitehead at Carnegie Mellon, really helped me through this time, just giving her a shout out. And she told me, you know, Adam, like, you're going to have to make hard decisions like this in life, and you can't, like, sometimes you just have to say no because you have to make decisions that are right for you. And trust me, those professors made those same decisions that were right for them. And that's why they are in the position they are in now at great universities and institutions. And after she told me that, although I still felt sad that I couldn't continue some relationships with professors that I really saw myself being able to thrive with, not necessarily at the institution they're at, because when you're picking an institution, side note, it's not just the research and the professor you have to pick the area, the location, if you feel like you're going to be able to thrive emotionally, physically, culturally in that area. So you have to be a little selfish about that. And so I ended up picking the right institution for me. And when I came to Stanford, Professor William Mitch, who is my PI now, was very forthcoming with having a project and wanting to speak with me about what I was interested in. And I remember speaking to my parents about this, and they said, Adam, trust your gut, and many times the right thing presents itself just for you, because you've prayed all this time and trusted your gut, and you haven't made a wrong decision since. And Bill's research just came to me on a silver plate, like, do you want to do this? And I was like, yes. Because Bill's research is in chemistry, environmental chemistry, and in the water and other things. He was like really branching outside of his, you know, what he's known for, which is disinfection byproducts in water systems, and trying to get rid of these potential carcinogens in drinking water through really studying the chemistry and what it means on a process scale and process level, etc. He started me off on a project, but then what ended up happening was the postdoc I mentioned in a previous video, Yukako had to leave because she got a professorship at the University of Shizuoka, and so she had basically 3 months to teach me everything. And she had 2 projects. One was on serum electrolytes affecting promoting hydroxyl radical initiated damage to, not getting into much detail, but just think of free radicals in the body. She was studying inflammation, basically, and as well as the food disinfection byproducts and the formation of chlorotyrosines inside of spinach and lettuce. But she was leaving in 3 months. There was no way she could finish the project, even though she finalized the methods. So she had to teach me how to do these experiments within 3 months so that I could continue And that's what Bill presented to me on a silver plate is, I have this project, you can continue it and learn it through and through under a postdoc that was amazing at showing me how to do everything in the lab and really guided me and gave me a head start. And you know, I got 2 research papers out of that, and I got tremendous help on how to navigate the lab and pursue research. And that really is what affected me. And you know, this story, I hope it kind of contextualizes how one may get into academia and why they would pursue it. Another thing I didn't really touch on was I didn't identify with going straight into industry. This was another push factor to go to graduate school. I didn't really identify with going to industry because I didn't think that my worth or my expertise were well represented on a resume and a 30-second elevator pitch at a career fair. I always found them to be very awkward for me. And so I really wanted to demonstrate my expertise in the form of a dissertation, which was a push factor to go into graduate school when I was graduating from undergrad, along with wanting to align with my parents' company and, you know, satisfying my need to be an academic and research and learn more about how this physical world works. I hope I kind of contextualized and answered about like what led me to pursue graduate school and my research. Some of it was luck of the draw, some of it presented itself, some of it was you know, sitting down and really thinking about what would make me happy. And now I want to move into the last quarter aspect of this video, which is also what I'd like to do in interviews with other academics. And that is to answer, how does my research benefit society? After you've learned about me, the human side of why I'm pursuing this career, how does my research benefit society? How am I contributing to the greater good of society in education, understanding phenomena, or if you know, just explaining along the way. And so food disinfection byproducts, you learned in my previous video that there are transformational products inside of foods, or sometimes in the wash water, but what we're interested in is transformational products inside of foods due to exposure to chemical disinfectants, many of which are oxidants like bleach or ozone, etc., that can essentially leach into the foods themselves and affect biomolecules present in foods to form compounds that may be toxic or carcinogenic. Side note, I support disinfecting foods because the chronic effects from eating foods disinfected by oxidants that may be carcinogenic take a longer time, and the chances of developing a cancer are slimmer than the chances of you consuming a food infected with a pathogen that could kill you. So by disinfecting the foods, we get rid of that risk that you know, if you eat this lettuce that wasn't washed properly and it was infected with Salmonella, E. coli, Listeria monocytogenes, and in a couple of days or a week you have severe food poisoning and may pass away. And I think disinfecting the foods is more important because of that risk, but that doesn't mean that we shouldn't control how much we disinfect them and try to prevent these chronic effects like developing a cancer. So my research benefits society that way, in trying to figure out what compounds are humans being exposed to due to things that we do, and can we engineer systems to decrease those exposure risks. And I actually think our field is severely underfunded. We were having a cool conversation, and one of my colleagues, Stephen Gawley, a fellow PhD student in my cohort, mentioned that many funding agencies they fund the medical research to get rid of cancer, which is very important and we need it. But why can't we also have more funding for people trying to identify the exposure, like what compounds are causing the cancer in the first place? So this is just a little push for people to fund our research a little bit more, because we have expensive research and but underfunded research as well. So yeah, my research benefits society by finding these compounds that could be potentially toxic or carcinogenic, and figuring out the engineering systems to prevent those compounds from forming. That's it, and I just want to say thank you for watching this video. Please like and subscribe. You're watching my YouTube channel, Adam M.A. Simpson, and I hope to see you next week.